Hey REWA students! For this week's project, I'm going to teach you how to weave. We are going to make these fun woven bookmarks. So you can put these homemade bookmarks in your books when you finish reading to make sure that you never lose your spot. So weaving has been around for thousands of years. Early civilizations first used grasses and plant materials to weave baskets, and eventually used weaving to turn cotton thread, wool, and yarn into beautiful and useful fabrics. So to weave, you use what is called a loom. So looms can be very small, like this one, or extremely big and intricate, like this one. Alright, so you need your safety pin, your different colored yarns, a pair of scissors, and you want to find a piece of cardboard. So I just used an old box that I had around my house and I cut a nice piece out about this big. So first take a marker and make 4 little marks at the end of your piece of cardboard, just like that. Just short little lines. 4 on each side. Okay, now take your scissors and cut along those little lines. And you don't want to cut too far into the cardboard, just about the length of the tip of your pinky finger. Okay, now take one of your pieces of string, doesn't matter which one, whichever one you want to be the base color, and unravel it. Now you're going to take the end of it and poke it through one of these slashes in your cardboard, just like this. And you see how I have a couple inches of string hanging behind? That's exactly how we want it. So now I'm going to pull that across and I'm going to put it in the slit across on the other side of the cardboard. Now pull it around the back and put it in the second slit, pull it across and put it in the second slit on the other side. Now wrap it around the back again and do it for the third and fourth slit until you end up with 4 pieces of string right across that cardboard. This is going to be our loom, so this is what we're going to use to do our weaving. So it should look just like that. When you're done with that, just trim off the excess string that you don't need. Just leave a little bit left over there, but you don't need very much. Okay, so pick another color of string and unravel it. This is going to be our first color. I chose green. We're going to tie our string onto our safety pin to help us with our weaving. So I'm just going to tie it, loop it around, and tie it in a knot just like I would tie my shoes. So when you're weaving, you want to repeat this to yourself. Under, over, under, over. Okay, so I'm taking my string, led by my safety pin, pulling it under the first string, over the second string, under the third string, and over the fourth string. I'm just pulling all of this green thread all the way through until I leave just a couple inches on the end there. And pull it to the top of my loom. Now I take that safety pin and I go back the other way. Under, over, under, over, and pull it through. Now to weave, I just keep going back and forth, under, over, turn around, under, over, So here I go again, under, over, and I pull it tight. Keep them nice and in line if you can. and go back the other way. Under, over, over, and pull it tight. So keep that up. So here's a different angle. You go under, over, under, over, and pull through. Then you turn around and go back the other way. Under, over, over. So keep this up however long you want to. You can go all the way through this green string. You kind of smush it together like that so you can't see the red thread underneath it anymore. And you get to kind of decide how long you want to make the green part. So you can keep going and make it nice and thick, or you can have it be shorter. Then just trim the end off whenever you're done with green and you want to move on to your next color. You can just take it off of the safety pin by cutting it off or untying it. So I'm going to move on to my next color, and I'm going to go blue next. So I tie the blue onto my safety pin, just like I would tie my shoes, just a basic knot. You can get help from a parent if you need. Okay, and I'm going to start weaving, and I'm going to start on the same side where I just finished. So that's where my green string left off, right? And I'm going to go under, over, and turn right around and do it again. Okay, I have my blue section all done. Just going to trim it off and take it off of my safety pin so I can use my next color. Alright, do the same thing with your next color. Remember to start on the same side that you just left off. Remember, it goes under, over, over, and pull through. So I'm going to use some more of that dark red string that I had left over and weave that in too. So now you can put the colors in any order you want. You can make them really short and you can make them really long. It's up to you. This is your bookmark and you are the designer. So mine looks like this. Now, in order to finish it up, I'm going to take my strings that are kind of dangling off here and I'm going to tie them in a knot, just like I tie my shoes, one time and then two times. So I'm making a double knot. Okay, tie it two times just like this, and now I'm going to trim those off like that. Be careful you don't cut the knot. Okay, now do the same with all the other strings. So now I just have these 2 strings at the end to finish off the bookmark. We're just going to kind of pull it a little bit away from the top of the loom there. That's going to give us some extra room to work with. So take your scissors. We're going to remove it from the loom by cutting those 4 strings up at the top. Leave yourself some space, okay? And trim it off at the bottom too. Okay, these are going to be our tassels hanging off at the bottom. Okay, to finish off our bookmark, we're going to choose any string you like. I chose blue, and tuck that string underneath your bookmark, and you're going to tie a knot right at the end of the weaving, right where the tassels start, okay? And tie a double knot so it's nice and tight, like that. Ta-da! And I'm just trimming those tassels because I don't want them quite so long. So I just left it like that. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. And there you have it. Now when you're reading, you can leave your homemade bookmark in there and make sure you can always find your page. Awesome. Thanks for crafting with me today. Check back in next week for our final project.